ain't fiction, it's fact. Break it down for me, brother.
You're tuned to the hottest and most talked about radio talk show in the world. This is the EIB Network's Rush Limbaugh program. The number is 800-282-2882. Just a couple of excerpts from the tape that you heard. First, the comment about the National Enquirer. Her words exactly. All right, what we've got here, we've got a 10-minute tirade. We've got a mad guy. We have an angry guy, walks in, kicks down some doors in the back, and just starts launching. He's mad. We think we know what he's mad about from this tape, but we can't play it for you because it would violate all standards of decency. So I have instructed our doctors of technology to bleep out the things that just violate the standards and play it for you. Since we found it on here, because we enhanced it, I'm going to play it for you with the two offensive words bleeped out. Here is, we're working on it now. We don't have it ready to go, but as soon as we get it, we'll play it for you. But here is another excerpt, and this is a threat. This is, I will beat you with my two blank fists. It's right at the beginning of the tape, so just listen very carefully. Turn up your radios so you can hear this. I think some of this stuff you may not have been able to detect unless somebody knew what it was and told you to listen for it, then it makes sense. This is one of those examples. I'll beat you. So we've got a very angry guy here, but notice, he didn't hit her, she said. He wasn't on drugs, she said. He hadn't had anything to drink, she said. No weapons, she said. And there was also the question the operator asked her. Is it something that you did? Nicole's answer, long time ago. Keeps coming back. We know what it is. We think we know what it is based upon that which we're doctoring now to play for you in mere moments. I'll just tell you that it involves her being with another man. But we don't know whether they were still married or not. We don't know the time frame. We don't know what the reference is. And it's at all. But in terms of specific times, but we do know that it has to do with her being with another man. Here's some phone calls now. Jim in Kansas City. Welcome to the program. I'm glad you were patient and held on.
It was Rush from Kansas City in the house that George built.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks. I love your show.
Thank you.
I just wanted to call, I guess, and put in my vote to see if maybe you give me some reasons why the OJ thing is kind of going on. It seems a little sensationalist. And I just, there's so many other things. I love all your shows, all the great parts of your show. You're really creative, but I guess this whole thing kind of sickens me so much. I'm really don't like hearing about it all the time.
Well, do you think we're talking about it all the time? This is really the first day that we started with it and stayed with it. This is Thursday, and Monday through Wednesday we started the first segment of the first hour with it, and then have moved on to other things. I think that as I assess the week, we've been balanced. We have not missed a single important issue that I'm sure you would consider crucial, such as the direction of the country vis-a-vis this administration. We haven't missed anything.
Yeah, I know.
We got 3 hours here, and we've got plenty of time, therefore, to fill all this in. And don't forget, like I said earlier, if I don't talk about this, I'm going to get calls from people, hey, Rush, you're missing the big story. What do you think about it? And people say, all you ever do is talk about Clinton. All you ever do is talk about your weekend. We're tired of hearing you about your weekend. All you do is talk about Clinton. So
I like all that stuff.
Well, this is look, I run around and all I ever do, sir, all I've ever done throughout my whole broadcast career is follow my instincts. And my instincts are as far as this show, if I'm interested in it, I talk about it. If I'm not, I don't. Because I figure it's going to be boring to listen to if I don't care about it.
Yeah, I guess it's just the fact that a couple of people got carved up, and it's kind of really disgusting.
Yeah, it is, but nobody's even talking about that. I mean, they ought to be.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you why I think this tape is important. And I alluded to this earlier. This country is so media connected now. I mean, news is immediate, opinions are immediate, judgments are immediate. That we have now with this tape, we have an image of a person many consider to be an American hero totally shot, do we not? Until this tape airs, till this tape is discovered, nobody other than those who've heard it would ever believe that O.J. Simpson had this kind of capability, this ability to have a 10-minute sustained tirade. With these, you would believe it?
Sure. I believe anyone's capable of it.
Well, this man's whole character has been created, and he's done so. He has massaged his career very well, and he's maintained a certain public image that is required to get endorsements, such as the one from Hertz, to appear in movies and so forth. And there have been a lot of people who I think have bought that hook, line, and sinker. This, I think, blows that image full of holes.
Well,
now that may not be good. Some people may not want to know these kinds of truths, and some people may not want to consider the power of public relations to create a false image, a false front, and so forth. I think what this does is indicate that no matter how much money you have, no matter how much power you have or influence, human beings are the same.
That's right.
Everybody is the same. I have not had this kind of tirade at a wife or a woman, but I have had these kinds of tirades over other things, and I have stalked around my office and I've shouted and screamed at nobody in particular, and I think everybody does this. And I think, well, O.J. Simpson obviously has this kind of personality, but you've got all these fears. We never saw any sign of this. We never saw. This can't be. We can't believe it. Well, here it is. And I think that this is in one regard, it may be somewhat beneficial, because there's a lot of class envy in this country. There's a lot of people who think that there's a lot of hatred for the rich in this country. And there's a lot of hatred for people who've achieved in this country based on a notion that they've somehow cheated, they've somehow been dishonest, they somehow have ripped people off, or they've not come by what they have in an honest way, a legitimate way. And as such, there is this ongoing opinion among some people that there is something different in a human sense about the rich and the powerful and celebrities. And obviously there's not. And
yeah.
This illustrates it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm also self-employed, so when you start becoming, getting successful in your business and all that, you can kind of see some of that coming out too.
Right. So stick with us. I don't think that you will be disappointed. I'm surprised. I didn't think we'd get that many calls from people who don't think O.J. did it, but we loaded with them. They're coming in, they're barreling in here. People think he didn't do it. And so we're talking to them to find, well, who do you think did? I mean, this, I think, is just from the standpoint of, one of the things that does fascinate me, ladies and gentlemen, I am just in awe of the way people think. I am fascinated as I can be at the way people get from point A to point B. And you look at presidential campaigns and you say there had to be nobody thinking back during the campaign. It had to be all emotional. Well, if you were just paying attention and thinking, then you would have been it would have been easy for you to see that what Mr. Clinton was saying was very, very far from the truth. But people didn't care. They didn't care. But people are thinking about this. Maybe because it's easier. But they still are, and I'm fascinated by the human thought process. Thanks for the call, Jim. We'll take a break and be back with more after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, I am the headmaster of Greenfield Hebrew Academy. After seeing your commercial on television, I ordered Hooked on Phonics for my daughter, who's in kindergarten. 3 months later, she was so proud that she could read. Hooked on Phonics is easy to follow, interesting, and stimulating. It has grabbed my daughter's attention, kept it, and taught her to read. I am definitely hooked on phonics. Thank you, Rabbi J. Neufeld.
Dear Hooked on Phonics, I was beside myself with my 7-year-old daughter. She was below average in school, and her classmates made fun of her because she couldn't read. We started Hooked on Phonics in July of '93. At this year's PTA meeting, her teacher said she showed dramatic improvement. In fact, last week she was awarded Student of the Month. She said, "Mom, this is the happiest day of my life. Thank you, Hooked on Phonics."
To learn about Hooked on Phonics, call 1-800-ABCDEFG. Results vary.
Special purchase. Special prices. Special purchase with special prices at Courtesy Buick. Courtesy Buick has just made a special purchase of 1994 Buicks, and you won't believe the values. Like the 94 Skylark from just $12,690. It's a special purchase. The stylish 94 Buick Regal priced as low as $14,450. 94 Buick Century from just $13,450. But the supply's limited. Shop now to get the one you want. At Courtesy Buick, the ultra-luxurious Buick Park Avenue from just $24,450, and the 94 GMC Safari Van XT as low as $16,780. But these prices are available only at Courtesy Buick, only while our supply lasts. Don't miss out. These special purchase cars have everything you want. The best options, low mileage, and blowout prices. And they're all from Courtesy Buick in Goldsboro. The only no-hassle Buick dealer in North Carolina. At these prices, these cars will be gone in a flash. Catch them before they're gone at Courtesy Buick on Highway 70 bypass in Goldsboro. Special purchase cars are low mileage, pre-owned vehicles. Tax tags and 148 doc fee are extra.
While I watched him circling round, it looks like a ballet in midair. As they turn and spread their wings, start to land. Oh, I'm in heaven when I hear that Susie calling back to me. We all must do our part, making sure they fly by here, same time each year.
They've been here because we've been here. Ducks Unlimited, leader in wetlands conservation for more than 50 years.
America's vital national interest. Me. Rush Limbaugh on the EIB Network. Yip, yip, yahoo. Vinny with another box. What do I have to do to get that box? I got to play another excerpt for you, right? Oh, man, you ought to see the mail. You ought to see the faxes. This maybe is more controversial than when scientists get mad at me. You shouldn't be playing it. Play it. I haven't heard an object lesson here. I'm waiting for that. Otherwise, why are you playing it? You got to understand, Rush, this hits women in ways that you don't understand. This is terror. They're precisely right. But you know, the defense could take this tape and use it to their advantage. Here's a guy for 10 minutes on an absolute, almost out of control rage. But does he hit her? Does he approach her? Does he destroy anything? That happened in a previous visit, destroying the door. Was he drinking? He had a weapon? Was he on drugs? Her answers were clear and concise. No. All right, we have this excerpt. This is the most amazing part of the tape, because the question from the dispatcher at 911 is to Nicole Simpson, when he's just going off. She says, "Is it something that you did?" And Nicole Simpson says, "Yes, a long time ago. It keeps coming back." Now, I want you to play the version with both offensive words beeped. What you are going to hear is O.J. Simpson saying, in response to her, cautioning him to be quiet because of the kids, you'll hear him say, "You didn't care about the kids when you were blank, his blank. You didn't care about the kids then." We think that that's what she means when she says, "Yeah, something a long time ago that keeps coming back." Now, you got the version with both of those words bleeped. Now, I don't know that you've heard this from anybody else. This was the result of enhancing the tape and studying it and listening to it over and over again. And as I say, to play the whole thing would violate all standards of decency and decorum that we've established here, in good taste. But this casts a whole different light on all this. This explains why he's mad. Here it is.
Okay, the kids are sleeping. Call 200, 4221, RD 825,
Okay, speed cue that, and let's hear it one more time now that you know what to listen for, and afterwards you didn't give a blank about the kids when you were blanking his blank in the living room. You didn't care about the kids then. It comes at about 5 seconds into the tape. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Okay, here. It's disgusting. There's no question it's disgusting. But I guarantee you, as everybody's listening to this tape last night for the first time and you hear OJ, you're still, what is he saying? What's he saying? We found out. You want to hear this. You know you do. Here it is.
Okay, the kids are sleeping. Call 200, 4221, RD 825,
And back to the phones we go. Another caller who thinks OJ is innocent. This is Dave from the Jersey Shore in Pennsylvania. Hello.
Hi, Rush. Ditto.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I have a theory. I wouldn't rule out Jason, his son, as a suspect.
Why? Why?
Well,
why? What evidence?
Because it's not so much evidence, but there's no evidence to rule him out. My idea is that OJ's demeanor and his actions last week, especially early on, were not that of a guilty person, but later on, it would be like that of a protective parent. You wouldn't hire one of the world's best forensic pathologists if you were guilty.
Yes, you would. Well, most definitely you would.
I don't know. Even
absolutely, you'd hire the best of everything if you're guilty. You hire the best of. If you've got his money, you hire the best of everything, regardless.
Yeah, but don't you think that would help the prosecution's case?
What? Just that you've hired the best?
No. Whatever he would find out.
Well, no, they're working for you. You want to keep the prosecution. These guys can be hired for the prosecution as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just. I think if he's taking care of his son all these years, he would probably have access to his vehicle if he's going to Chicago, all this stuff. When did OJ order the limo? Things like this. Questions haven't been answered.
Well,
shoot me.
This may be stuff that the cops have. Again, it's important to realize here that the police have released nothing. Now, the defense knows what the police have. That was what the hearing yesterday was about. It's been turned over. The discovery process is ongoing. Dave, thank you for waiting. Thanks for the call. Quick break. We'll be back with more.
You're listening to the EIB Network. Now, the story the Clinton White House doesn't want you to know. The real story behind the United States' ill-fated Haitian policy. A story of deceit, influence peddling, and public relations ploys that could ignite a bloody Haitian civil war, with U.S. troops caught in the crosshairs. A story you'll read only in the new issue of the American Spectator. See why Bill and Hillary Clinton are so willing to sacrifice American lives to restore a Marxist dictator to power. Learn about the tangled web of Washington lobbyists, Hollywood do-gooders, and left-wing friends of Bill who are playing fast and loose with U.S. foreign policy, with American taxpayers picking up the tab. Call 800-547-6262 now and get 12 eye-opening issues of the American Spectator for just $34.95, beginning with a shocking first issue. Call 800-547-6262 and see why the American Spectator is the country's most fearless news magazine. Call 800-547-6262 now.
EIB Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, has the scanner for you. They carry a full line of unit and Bearcat scanners, including base stations, home units, mobile units, and handheld units, too. EIB Electronics and Unit and Bearcat have the right idea. Also, get a free frequency list with any purchase of a scanner. Stop in today for a free demo on any model at EIB Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, your scanner headquarters.
Scott Motor Company in Goldsboro is having their gigantic factory invoice sale, and it's your chance to save on all remaining 1994 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, Concours, Seville, and Eldorados. They're all at factory invoice prices only till the end of the month at Scott Motor Company. Come and check out the largest selection ever with over 40 in stock. They're extended hours through the end of the month at Scott Motor Company in Cadillac, creating a higher standard, located on Highway 70 Bypass in Goldsboro, selling and servicing fine motor cars since 1922.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Shell. Now it's the new Formula Shell gasolines at the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Shell's cleanest burning gasolines, including the 93 Octane Premium. You can enjoy the most delicious food in the family restaurant and many other services such as LP gas service. Buy just the quantity you need. See for yourself the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now serving you with the finest Shell new Formula gasolines, Highway 117 and South George Street, Goldsboro. A service of Dumas Oil Company.
Working people need Walter Jones Jr. in Congress. Walter Jones Jr. is a conservative with a tradition of service to Eastern North Carolina. In the legislature, he fought for reform. In Congress, Walter Jones Jr. will vote for your family and against Bill Clinton's liberal tax and spend programs. Walter Jones Jr. is concerned about the next generation, not the next election. Walter Jones Jr., conservative and fighting for Eastern North Carolina.
Paid for by Walter Jones Jr. for Congress Committee, Wayne Holloman, Treasurer.
We will have a discussion on health care in the next hour. In the monologue, there's some distressing news coming out of the Senate Finance Committee. We'll detail for you in the next hour. In the meantime, here's Paul from Ithaca, New York. Hi.
Hi, Rush.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for calling.
God, I'm so excited to talk to you.
I'm pleased.
Listen, I told Mr. Snerdley that I wanted to make a comment on the OJ thing, although I really wanted to talk about some other things, too, and if you think maybe...
No, go ahead. Just go ahead. Launch, whatever you want to do.
Well, I just kind of wanted to know, do you attach, like, a real great importance to these tapes?
In terms of the case, no. These tapes are irrelevant to the trial.
Yeah, aren't they?
They're totally irrelevant to the trial.
So then how come everybody's making so much of an effort to paint these pictures, which is...
Because look, all we've heard about is, ever since this trial happened, or the crime happened, we've heard that O.J. was a wife beater. We've heard that O.J. was this or that. We heard O.J. had a bad temper. We heard all this stuff. Finally, here comes the tape. This is the first time any of this side of O.J. Simpson has been seen or heard, and that people are just fascinated with it. It goes so against everything we believed about O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, but does anybody think that this is unusual? I mean, we only know people, we only know their public images, which is probably all we should know. Do you think we should know, like, the private history, the real secret things in everybody's private life? I mean, the people who we think are fantastic, you know, they have a right to get incredibly pissed off just like anybody else, don't they?
They do, and they have the right, and they do get that mad.
But these tapes just kind of mean that to me, that what we hear is, well, basically how you analyzed it on the last segment was a guy just getting unbelievably mad, and he might be totally justified. And we know totally nothing about Mrs. Simpson's character. We know absolutely nothing. Don't we?
Mrs. Simpson's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know a little bit more than we did thanks to the tape.
Yeah.
If we do. No, we do. We do. We know a little bit more about her than we did.
I mean, also, there's the possibility that he's totally justified for sounding how he is on these tapes. In fact, I can even relate that to an instance in my own life. I'm basically a guy who gets along with everybody. I got friends. I do things for the community. I never say no to anything. But, you know, my marriage, I'm not going to get too much into it. You know, it has its rocky points to it. But I'm a person who...
Here. Excuse me? Remember, when you call 911, the tapes are rolling.
Yeah.
Somebody asked for this tape. Somebody had asked for it. They had to release it. Freedom of Information Act.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm not questioning why it's out there. I know why it's out there. We know what the media does. I mean, this is exactly what they do. But I'm saying about O.J. himself, like, what if he had this unbelievable tight bond with his kids, and for some reason, his wife, this is just an example now, And for some reason, his wife was coming between him and his kids for really stupid or irrelevant or very unimportant things, which was going to totally affect the bond between him and his kids. I know I would be through the roof, and I have been through the roof. Because nothing frustrates me more than people creating problems for themselves and others for no reason at all. Very frustrating. Wouldn't you say?
Totally agree with you.
Well, just off the top of my head, why couldn't that be the scenario behind this?
It could very well be. No, I am the guy who just said there may be something here the defense could use.
Yeah, well, I think you're right.
Well, there may well be. These. Hey, if we, I don't want to draw that analogy, but I think that there is a purpose here. Good one.
From the WGBR Community Desk, if you can hable español. Can you speak Spanish? The Wayne County Department of Social Services has a great need for a couple of Spanish interpreters to work 2 to 3 times per week. If you think you may be able to help out, contact Mary McMichael at 731-1342 at the Wayne County Department of Social Services. Mary McMichael, 731-1342. Hear what everybody's talking about right here on 1150 WGBR.
I'm going. No way. You can't go to college. Can, man. You don't have the money. No, but I got a plan, dude.
If you've got more brains than money, consider this. The Montgomery GI Bill alone can mean more than $14,000 for college. And the GI Bill is just one of the ways the military can help.
I was going to sign up just for the travel thing. That's why they call you Duke.
Today's military, high-tech training, and the cash you need for college. Talk to your local armed forces recruiters or call 1-800-727-3677 for more information.
WGBR, Goldsboro's very own.
From ABC News, I'm John Belmont. The CEO of the cigarette maker that came up with double nicotine tobacco says it's no big deal. He doesn't think nicotine is addictive.
I repeat, I do not believe that nicotine is addictive. I certainly believe that I'm entitled to express my views, even though they may differ from the opinions of others.
Thomas Sandifer of Brown & Williamson tells Congress the FDA set it up to look like his company lied to Congress about working on the double-strength tobacco. Attorney General Janet Reno says the Justice Department is now looking into whether tobacco executives have misled regulators and lawmakers. The industry says the government is actually moving toward banning cigarettes. Florida Congressman Michael Billeracca says that would be a big mistake.
Millions of Americans now do smoke with knowledge of the risk involved. They have adopted smoking as part of their lifestyle, and there is only so much government can and should do, in my opinion, to protect people from themselves.
Turning to another health care issue, a bipartisan group of senators on the Finance Committee is meeting behind closed doors today, trying to hash out a compromise health care reform plan that will appeal to both Democrats and Republicans. The idea is to get a package out of committee and onto the floor for full debate. The Pentagon is declassifying thousands of pages of secret documents that might shed some light on the causes or cause of Gulf War syndrome. The latest study has again failed to find any single cause. Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey took a tumble at Joe Robbie Stadium before today's game with the Marlins. It's not clear whether he collapsed or just fell. Here's fellow broadcaster Tom Brenneman on Chicago's WGN Radio.
He was rushed off by a paramedic squad to Parkway General Hospital here in North Miami, and he is listed in stable condition. He is alert, and there's a very strong chance that he could be released as late as the late afternoon hours later on today.
Whatever happened, it looks like 77-year-old Harry Carey hit his head in Miami. You're listening to ABC News.
Hi, Vanna White here for Spring Air Mattresses. Some people might think I'm spoiled. I am. I sleep on a Spring Air back supporter mattress. There are 4 reasons why back supporter is my choice, and should be yours too. They're all in my mattress buying video that's yours free when you call 1-800-94-VANNA. Find out why you should be sleeping on a Spring Air back supporter too. Call for my free mattress buying video today. Call 1-800-94-VANNA.
America, get rockin' and cooking with Kraft, Oscar Mayer, and Louis Rich. Wolfman Jack here telling you to get rockin' with up to $10 in savings at Musicland and Sam Goody. Save up to $10 on CDs and cassettes when you get cooking with your family's favorite foods. Buy any 3 Kraft cheese products, 8 ounces or larger, Oscar Mayer bologna or Louis Rich cold cuts, and you can save up to $10 on the music you want to hear. Get details in the mail-in form at the Rockin' and Cookin' display in participating grocery stores now.
He's got a cab, he's got a dangerous job, and just maybe he's got a gun. Taxi drivers in the Miami area are now allowed to pack a piece, but some of their employers aren't sure they want them to. We ran the idea by a few cabbies on the mean streets of New York.
We need guns to protect ourselves.
Of course, we love to carry guns. Why not?
You find so many bad people, if you carry a gun, you're going to be shooting everybody every day.
The cab drivers are crazy. For cab drivers having guns, I think cab drivers be shooting one another.
It's technically illegal for taxi drivers to arm themselves in New York. Former Ram Rosie Greer stopped by to visit O.J. Simpson in a Los Angeles jail this morning. Greer is now an ordained minister, and his appearance counts as a chaplain visit. Postpartum depression, daddy style. ABC's Linda Albin has the story.
Men as well as women suffer from so-called baby blues, according to researchers here in Britain. Psychiatrists say the main 2 factors are rising unemployment and a husband reacting to his wife's depression. But men are also increasingly stressed out over how to balance their jobs with taking a more active part in raising the kids. Many new dads end up tired, bored, and depressed, often calling in sick to work. And because postnatal depression is usually associated with women, doctors say men don't even know what's bothering them. Linda Albin, ABC News, London.
No blues, but a little red ink on Wall Street today. The Dow Industrial is currently down more than 7 points. Trading is heavy. This is ABC News.
What are you going to do next month?
Oh, lose 10 pounds, run a marathon, plan my retirement, start an herb garden, and learn Spanish.
That's a lot of work.
Piece of cake. I sent for National Dynamics speed tapes and their free cassette player. Listen to the tapes for 20 minutes a day. In a month, you'll speak and understand Spanish, French, German, Italian, or Japanese.
And it's guaranteed?
Unconditionally guaranteed, or your money back.
Call National Dynamics at 1-800-545-1985 today.
Did I mention take a trip?
Call 1-800-545-1985.
For the ABC Information Network, I'm John Belmont.
Working people need Walter Jones Jr. in Congress. Walter Jones Jr. is a conservative with a tradition of service to Eastern North Carolina. In the legislature, he fought for reform. In Congress, Walter Jones Jr. will vote for your family and against Bill Clinton's liberal tax and spend programs. Walter Jones Jr. is concerned about the next generation, not the next election. Walter Jones Jr., conservative and fighting for Eastern North Carolina.
Paid for by Walter Jones Jr. for Congress Committee, Wayne Holloman, Treasurer.
A fairly well-organized low-pressure system could bring widespread showers and thunderstorms to the area Friday night and Saturday. Until then, more heat, humidity, and mostly hit-or-miss type storms. The forecast for this afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine. We'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms, highs today 90 to 95, then partly cloudy tonight. Some chance of an overnight shower or storm, the low dropping to 67 to 72, and then partly sunny for Friday. It'll be hot and humid with a chance of a late-day thunderstorm, highs again 90 to 95. I'm Mike Moss at the Weather Center.
Broadcast excellence left to go. Our phone lines are open at 1-800-282-2882. As we continue, ladies and gentlemen, to take calls from people who don't think O.J. Simpson did it. They are telling us why. So you stay right where you are. A monologue coming up with other news. Don't go away.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
And the number of days of the raw deal, America Held Hostage, to the Clinton presidency. Day 520 today for the poor and middle class. Day 539 for the rich and the dead. With 942 days of the most confused foreign policy in the last 50 years left to go, President Clinton is now saying that, Jimmy Carter and I got together. He's alluding to the fact that their talks were a little bit more involved than what he had previously said, and that they were on the same page when Jimmy Carter went to Korea. It's just amazing. It's amazing the lengths to which this president will go to position himself as the winner in a situation or as on the right side of a specific issue. 800-282-2882. Let's look at some of the other things. I mentioned that are in the news. I mentioned that the Senate Finance Committee is... the reason why the Finance Committee is an important committee for health care, perhaps the most important, is because it's considered to be the most balanced in a number of ways. There are 11 Democrats and 9 Republicans, almost 50-50. There are moderates and ideologues of both parties represented. So it is felt that if a bill can be proposed in the Senate Finance Committee that all the members there can agree to, that achieving bipartisanship, meaning Republicans, Democrats going along with it, that bill will have the best chance of passage in the full Senate. And then they would go to conference with the House and whatever version comes out of there and put one together. So that's why I have urged you people to keep your eyes on the Finance Committee. Up till now, it has looked like the Finance Committee was hopelessly deadlocked. No chance whatsoever of coming up with anything that was bipartisan because there was no sentiment there for an employer mandate. And it is the employer mandate which gets you to universal coverage, which is all the Clintons have ever cared about, and they've said this from day one. They don't care about those alliances. They don't care about all this other stuff. They want universal coverage because that now allows the government to take over the healthcare industry. So today, the news coming out of the Senate Finance Committee is that moderate Democrats and Republicans on this committee got closer to agreement on a national health insurance plan that would require you to buy health insurance for yourselves, but not make the employer buy it. This is called the personal mandate. This group of moderates includes 3 Republicans and 5 Democrats. And the theory is that if they can agree among themselves, then they will present their plan to the 12 other members of the committee tomorrow. They said they thought they could get enough votes to have the committee then send the measure to the full Senate. Now, the compromise plan would provide subsidies for people who cannot afford to buy their insurance. In addition, the requirement that you buy your own insurance, which is called an individual mandate, would not come into effect until the year 2002, and it would take effect only if other methods to spread health insurance had not led to either 95 or 96% of the American public. One person in these talks said 95%, the other said 96. Some of the methods to get there might include laws to make it easier for small businesses to join together and bargain for good rates, or a ban on excluding people with pre-existing medical problems. This is basically the Chafee bill. Individual mandates. Forcing, now, and Bob Peckwood, who is a member of this committee, has said Republicans are just not going to go along with something that has the federal government forcing people to do something that they don't want to do. Yet that appears to be where this committee is headed. And no guarantee they're going to succeed. And I'll tell you right now, this is a bad plan. Anything with the word mandate in it is no good. You don't want mandates. Who are these people to mandate things like this when 81% of the people of this country are satisfied with their health care, according to an NBC poll? And good grief, I mean, look at how biased the health show was on NBC. And yet 81% like what they have. It may really be 95%, and they just biased it down to 80. Well, I'm joking. 81% like what they have. So what is this business of mandate? Some member of Congress said the other day, and this is a brilliant line, go through this health care plan, and wherever you see the word mandate, scratch it out and replace it with choice. That's what America is about, not the federal government telling people they must do things like this. So that's where it stands. Also on the health care debate, we're watching it, folks, as we always are. Don't think we're getting sidetracked here. We're watching it. Now, as to health care in further detail, Wall Street Journal editorial page, a brilliant story today by one of America's leading medical authorities, the heart surgeon, Dr. Michael DeBakey. It is called Prescription for Disaster. That is what he calls the Clinton health care plan. So we are today confronted by two of America's leading medical authorities as we debate health care. On the one hand, Dr. Michael DeBakey, a medical giant. On the other hand, lawyer Hillary Clinton, the wife of the president. Now, on whose side do you think we should fall? Two leading medical authorities, Dr. Michael DeBakey or lawyer Hillary Clinton, the wife of the president and Marine Corps reject. Also in the Wall Street Journal, in the B section, remember those controversial condom ads? We showed you some of those on our TV show. They have not prodded sales much, according to this story. CDC may have pulled a boner here on this because they've absolutely done something that well, I'll tell you what, this whole plan was designed to get people to buy condoms and use condoms. But the hard facts are in. Unit sales are actually off 3 to 4%. Condom sales are down after this campaign. This sounds like a National Organization for Women boycott. When the Now Gang goes in and tries to interrupt sales, sales skyrocket. So the reverse, when the Now Gang wants something to sell, it doesn't. James Curran, the Center for Disease Control's Associate Director for HIV and AIDS, contends that the success of the effort can't be measured in a few months. Need more time. What else is it? Oh, the Democrats and soft money. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole... Do you recall the President of the United States while he was a candidate running for president? As candidate Clinton, the president said on October 28, 1992, quote, I want to restrain the influence of political action committees and lobbyists. Candidate Clinton wrote in his book, Putting People First, page 46, quote, I want to end unlimited soft money contributions that are funneled through national, state, and local parties to presidential candidates. Let me define soft money. It's real easy. Soft money is money you give the party. If you want to, you can give the party $500 grand. Write a check to the Democratic National Committee. You're not writing it to one candidate. They can spend it however they choose. That's what soft money is. And just keep all this in mind, especially this one. I want to end unlimited soft money contributions that are funneled through national, state, and local parties to presidential candidates. President Clinton said on March 23, 1993, I think we should do away with the soft money issue and work towards change. President Clinton, a proposal that floods loopholes in the financing of presidential campaigns by eliminating so-called soft money contributors, is what I am for. However, here are the facts. In just 21 months, he has raised almost $41 million from special interest groups, soft money contributions. That is twice as much as the Republicans he has criticized for attending black-tie dinners. The Republicans raised about $20 million. These are the rich guys, I thought. The Democrats, $41 million in soft money. You've heard me quote the president, what he thought about it as a candidate and then later as president. Last night, President Clinton attended 2 fundraisers, which were expected to raise $2 million. One of them held by his old buddy Vernon Jordan, who drove the golf cart at Martha's Vineyard during the president's vacation, which was $1,500 a plate. The president was confronted with all this. So, Mr. Clinton, how come you're not following through with what you said? As though that question's anything new. The president's answer was, I have said all along, I don't believe in unilateral disarmament. And if you look, I have a lot more advertising and attacks against our administration and our policy than we have had the financial wherewithal to respond to. Their defense of aborting their own stated intentions is that they got to raise all this money to be able to defend themselves against the attacks of the Republicans who've raised half that amount. Don't believe it for a minute. Have you seen one TV commercial that's a defense? You've seen some health care ads, but how much could they have cost? Nah, this is campaign money, my friends. It is campaign money. And let's see, in Virginia, the Walt Disney Company said several locales want the proposed history theme park that they plan to put in Haymarket, Virginia. A county judge on Tuesday dismissed a lawsuit by residents seeking to block the park. Now the Senate is getting involved. The United States Senate is about to tell Disney what they can and can't do. This is private property. U.S. Senate, U.S. government has no business telling Disney what they can do on private property, which is zoned for this kind of thing. The people of Virginia have zoned this property. This is not the battlefield at Manassas. Nobody is going to this land where they're going to build a theme park and standing there, soaking up the events of history. Doesn't happen. I don't even know how many people go to the battlefield at Manassas and do that. One more thing about the O.J. Simpson tapes we have aired today, as we have calls that still are devoted entirely to that subject. Last night, after I watched the tape one time, or listened to it one time, I didn't listen to it